Yo, what is up everybody and welcome back to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. It is currently Monday, the new trading week has just started as you can see, but right now the stock markets are actually in holiday as you can see. This Monday is actually a holiday for the traditional market, so today we won't have a New York session. Basically they open in 21 hours. But we do have our CME future markets open, so let's get right into it. For Bitcoin right now, as you can see, we do have our completely new weekly pivot points for this new week, and right now Bitcoin is currently above this weekly pivot right here. So currently we're trading above 107k, and we're currently trading at the value area high from this range right here that I'm still considering a chop, and we're trying to break above, as I said. So currently we do have 117k basically as more of a real target, since the resistance 2 pivot resistance 2 tends to get hit more often than the pivot resistance 3 basically. Like we had last week our price target of 115k of around at the weekly pivot resistance 3, and so right now Bitcoin is currently trying to break above that value area high right here, and also our next major resistance, as you can see, is 111k, basically that first weekly pivot support. And if we look at our open interest and CVD, as you can see, currently we do have a spike up of open interest and also CVD, so that is actually very bullish right here, as you can see. Also our CVD open interest, and we do actually in this candle right here we got a lot of shorts liquidations, as you can see. But if we look at the liquidation heat map, basically there are also more liquidations sitting at around 112 basically until 114k, so new all-time highs. We're currently testing the old all-time highs and Bitcoin is trying to break above it. And what is causing this bounce from here, as you can see from that range, actually yesterday in my video I talked about the tariff news basically. That's why I was expecting a big correction this week, but once again we got hit with another tariff news, as you can see, from Donald Trump. Basically this time he delays the 50% tariffs on the EU until July of 9th. So basically this is always bullish for the markets, also the stock markets, when Donald Trump basically delays the tariffs. So currently the global tariffs are delayed about 90 days, I think. So that's why we had, if we look at the stock market, all of this move that we had right here, this big move to the upside, was basically because right here at the bottom he once again announced that he's pausing the tariffs basically for 90 days, the global tariffs, I mean, for everyone, once the one that he announced with his list, basically for almost every country in the world. And right now, as I said, this tariff delays was once again the cause for this market manipulation, I would call it, because as you can see right here, where we talked in the previous video that I'm expecting a bigger correction from the all-time highs, but we actually got a small correction of for almost 4% basically, because as you can see we got once again market manipulation from Donald Trump, and right now the price is bouncing, and more importantly it is above that weekly pivot and is currently breaking above of that value area high of our range here, as you can see. Also, the stock market is currently having a bullish divergence right here, as you can see. So it perfectly bounced from that weekly pivot support, the S&P 500, and is right now above our weekly pivot, basically the same as Bitcoin. Basically it bounced at the same time that Trump announced his tariffs delay on the EU. Basically this is currently driving the market. These tariffs are basically clear manipulation, as you can see right here. One day he says one thing and then we dump, then the next day, one day later, he says complete the opposite, and then we are pumping. So very, very dangerous time to trade, in my opinion, because we don't know when another tariff news are gonna hit us, basically. And also the Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, is getting stronger, currently testing that weekly pivot resistance. So basically this trend line right here that we drew, we actually are currently testing it once again. As you can see, now we have to draw it like this, and as long as we don't lose this trend line and we get back above the other trend line, basically I think it will be difficult for the altcoins to pump. I mean, they will pump if Bitcoin gets back to the makes a new all-time high and breaks the current one, but they won't pump as much as I want them to, basically because of that of Bitcoin dominance being very, very strong right now. So we need to see another dump like this, as I said. So basically for the altcoins to start ripping up once again. Also, if we look at Ethereum on the 4-hourly time frame, basically Ethereum is still in that range. A very big consolidation is happening right now, but remember, the bigger the time of the consolidation, the bigger the breakout will be. So once this consolidation here breaks out, I'm expecting a very big pump of around 21%. Maybe we even break above the 3K, the golden pocket, very easily, and we can see hard targets for Ethereum. But right now on the short term, Ethereum currently perfectly tested its value area high right here, as you can see on the range, rejected once again, but it's testing currently its weekly pivot, as you can see. Basically, as long as we hold above our weekly pivot, since if the price holds our weekly pivot, it's currently acting as very, very strong support. Like always, if we hold and break above here and then test it, then I'm seeing once again 2700 basically for Ethereum. That will be around 6% of a move, and then basically we will be testing this range, high of the range right here, and trying to break above it once again. So I'm still keeping bullish, as I said, but we can't know for sure since all of this manipulation that's happening because of the tariff news. So we have to keep watching. And also Solana, the same as Ethereum, it's currently testing its value area high of that range. Basically Solana, all of the altcoins almost are in this big consolidation right here since the last big pump, as you can see. And right now Solana is currently also above its weekly pivot, also acting as will act as support once we test it. And it's currently, as you can see, we're perfectly testing that value area high. So I'm expecting something like this, maybe a touch of the weekly pivot, and then bounce once again to test all these highs here, and then maybe finally break out to that $200 level for Solana. In my opinion, it's going to be happening very soon, maybe this week, maybe next week, since if we look at the monthly time frame, basically what's left of this month is only 5 days and 8 hours before we get a new monthly candle, as you can see. So always I've noticed when we get a new monthly candle, basically we get higher volatility. So it's possible that we get another monthly candle to the upside for Bitcoin, basically like the one that we have here. So if we get another monthly candle, that will basically take us up to around 129-130k for Bitcoin, then the altcoins like Solana and Ethereum will probably get another monthly candle like this to the upside, basically, and then we will be seeing hard targets for the altcoins also. Currently, the one altcoin that is doing very, very strong, if we look on the weekly time frame, is basically Hype. As you can see right here, Hype has had a very big move the last week of around 55% basically, and is still keeping strong, while the other altcoins are currently consolidating a bit, as you can see. But as I said, I'm also expecting a slightly pullback for hype before another major move to the upside. Basically, it's possible that it will test currently, as you can see, perfect rejection from that first resistance at around $40. I'm expecting a pullback of around 13% basically to that weekly pivot, and then we bounce once again to test that resistance right here and then maybe break above it. But if we look at SUI, currently SUI is below our weekly pivot. As you can see, SUI has been doing bad since that FUD with it, basically the hack, the liquidity provider that all the meme coins based on the SUI network got drained, and the hackers stole millions of dollars. Since then, SUI has been having, as you can see, a major pullback of around 15%. Basically, it's been dumping more than the other altcoins because of that FUD, but it still has not fallen below, as you can see, $3, so it's still strong in my opinion. The FUD is just a FUD, as everybody says, and basically I'm still expecting maybe a test of this weekly pivot support, the first one or maybe the second one, and then SUI can test that weekly pivot, or maybe it just consolidates right here and then we go for that test. Anything can happen. So basically, as long as the stock market reclaims and stays above that weekly pivot and we don't have any more tariff news that will shake the market like this, basically I don't see a reason that we don't push more to the upside. It's still very possible that, as I said, we reject from here in my last previous video, that a bigger correction will come. But as I said, it's very we've got very big chance of a manipulation, as you saw that happened basically yesterday and today. So you gotta be very careful currently in that market. Also, if we look for Bitcoin, currently there are more longs right now than shorts in the market. Also, as you can see here, as I said, we've got that spike up of open interest and CVD, and the price is currently going up while having a small correction. But basically, as long as we break above the all-time high, in my opinion, we will get that move to the upside and create new all-time highs, basically 117 or in the best scenario 123k, basically that last resistance. So that will be 12% of a pump. And also Bitcoin for now, as you can see, if we enable our monthly pivots, these are our monthly pivot levels for the month of May. Basically, Bitcoin is currently above, if you can see here, is currently above our last monthly resistance. So we are trading above it. We actually broke out, but we lost it. Then we tested this as resistance right here, as you can see. Then we lost it once again, rejection. And right now Bitcoin is currently back above that monthly pivot resistance. So the monthly pivot resistance are much stronger than the weekly. So basically I'm expecting for the price of Bitcoin to keep above that monthly pivot resistance of around 109k. So as long as we don't lose 109k, so we don't lose this line right here, then I'm seeing I can see hard targets happening. But if we lose that level once again, then I'll be more cautious and I will wait for probably a bigger pullback. As I said before, I take a new long position. So basically, if from here we drop to that second monthly resistance, so basically 101k, that will be about 8%. As you can see, we in the previous time, this second monthly resistance, once we broke above it, it acted as support twice, and then we got that major move to the upside, basically to the all-time highs, as you can see. So that's my outlook for Bitcoin for now. And I hope you liked the video. Subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again tomorrow in the new daily update video. Bye.